butter and some little parsley flakes. It's Friday. Let's have a relaxing evening tonight, like a Friday night chat. It seems like it's been a exhausting week. I can't wait for Thanksgiving so I can get some turkey gravy. Put on top of this. Oh, I need to open a soda pop. and all of that, and my thyroid, because my TSH level was crazy low, and then on the side, we're also doing a vitamin and mineral test, a stool test, and what was the other one? Vitamin mineral. Oh, toxins test, and at one time she had a really good vitamin and mineral test that the insurance paid for, but post-COVID, insurance has changed so much that I guess they don't pay for it anymore. So it's about approximately $250 out of pocket for each test, which it's very easy for me to poo-poo upon these added extra tests. However, I just, if you ever get to where you're not feeling well, and you just wake up in a frenzy thinking, in my situation, like, what happened to me? Like, overnight, it just seems like I'm not doing well, or I'm not feeling well. And I mentioned it in the other video how I want to blame the COVID vaccine, but I think we've heard enough of the argument for the vaccine or not for the vaccine. So it's each person, we need to figure out what we're going to do for our own self. But for me, and of course for my husband, because he's older, it's, you're not feeling well if you don't get it, and you're not feeling well if you do get it. Mentally, not easy. Of course, my husband's older, and all I kept thinking was, how would I feel if something happened to him? Because that's when everybody was dying from COVID, especially the elderly. So just living with that, we just always have to do what's right for us so that we can live, without the torment or guilt. But I got so sick after I got the vaccine. All these tests are hopefully going to rule out many things. But since I started taking the spirulina, I call them like a detox tablet, because like I said, they pull out toxins or metals in your body. They bind to this tablet. The difference I feel, and just after like 5 days, taking them every day, 2 times a day, huge improvement. So I think I'm toxic. That Toxic song, Brittany? I think that's me. And if you get discouraged, maybe you might not be old enough to not feel well yet, because I do remember when I was younger, and I would take supplements. I didn't feel a difference. Now, knowing what I know now, I do feel a difference. So don't be discouraged if you take supplements and you don't feel something or feel different. That might be because you're not as deficient or sick as you think you might be with your vitamins and minerals. Because when you're really low or deficient and then you start supplementing, you feel it right away. I told you that my TSH level was like crazy low. And for any of you on thyroid pills, this is the difference between a specialist and your everyday general practitioner. The specialty doctor takes more than just a TSH test for my hormone balance. They take a T3 and a T4 and a reverse T3. They take 4 or 5 thyroid tests and they put them all together and they can figure out a better conclusion to how you're doing. But when your doctor just takes one test, the TSH test, you need to inquire. Hopefully you don't have to beg, but you really want more than just one test to have a good thyroid test result. And my daughter was reading that just by having terrible score in your TSH, if your thyroid stimulating hormone is off, it can be the root cause of so many things. Hearing, I do have some lower back, but I think until I get my last knee replacement, I think I'm just not going to feel well until both my legs are completely even. Because the one knee that still needs to be replaced is missing the cushion in between the bones. Terrible. And what's a reminder that you know how I tell you and talk to you about all the supplements and I take, and I realize here's another thing we do to ourselves. When we don't feel well, and we don't eat right. We don't take the supplements that we're supposed to take every day. It's such a big, vicious, negative cycle. And I think that's what happened to me. And, like, there's some things you guys know all the supplements I take. I should, just as a matter of fact, Lee mentioned the things I really need to do on a daily basis, that if I fall short, it's going to be another tumble into a whole nother mess. But my calcium, I need 4 to 5 cups of my almond milk a day to get the right calcium. And when I wasn't feeling well, I was lucky if I was taking 1 to 2 cups of milk a day. And in addition to the milk was the water. It's so easy for us not to have enough water. And I know I was not drinking the right amount of water. And for me, I really do need 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. And it's kind of like a myth that everybody needs that much water a day, because it was because of me. My husband ended up in hospital emergency room with low electrolytes because told him he was going to get dehydrated if he didn't drink his water all day. And yes, he was drinking it, but it was flushing out all his good vitamins and minerals. And then when I got there, got a real nice education from the nurse talking about this myth of everybody needs 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. And had I not had that negative experience, I felt so bad after this. More than likely today I'd still be forcing everybody in my life. Did you drink your water today? Did you? And but so then what I did when I realized I wasn't drinking my water, I started drinking Gatorade, or the Powerade, which we know is full of sugar. It's either straight sugar or fructose sugar or something with the electrolytes, but sugar is just bad. It's just bad. So I wasn't feeling well, wasn't getting my calcium, wasn't getting my water. My iron was going downhill because everybody made me feel like the worst person in the world, because for my pain I was taking tramadol, and doctors, friends, and family included just lambasted me. Even the doctor, I said, I've been off and on tramadol my whole life, I don't have a problem with it. So they all persuaded me to get off that, and I said, okay, then I'll use Aleve or what other pain medication I can, bigger than beans, if I didn't change. And created another problem for myself, was a bleeding in my tummy, and had this huge iron deficiency problem. It was a whole thing. And so I'm telling you that again. I know I shared it before. Don't let anybody bully you into your preferred medications. I do understand the concern doctors, friends, and families have about opioids, tramadol's opioid. But I had a good record of being off and on tramadol for many years because I've had ongoing joint pain and joint replacement procedures for years now. And the doctor knows have a good record of getting off those pills. And if you have somebody in your life treating you that way, be advised that it's never good for us to take any kind of pill. We wouldn't be taking pills unless we really had to. But if you exchange tramadol for the Aleve or all those other NSAID over the counter, it's easy for them to cause tummy trouble. Tylenol, however, is different. It doesn't bother your tummy. And it's helped me to be more mindful of what I say to my mom or somebody who I think they should be on this pill or that pill, or they shouldn't take this. Instead of that pill, they should take this supplement. Because what works for one won't work for another. And so anyways, just because I'm not feeling well, this is what we do to ourselves when we don't feel well, and we kind of just put it off and allow ourselves to not feel well for a time, because we don't do that. We're go, 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 perform, 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 do, help, 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 cook, eat, do it all. And when we don't feel well, we're ready, willing, and able to stop and not let our bodies just stop. And that's what I did. So I ended up with the anemia. I don't know what my calcium might be. I need to go for that bone density. And see how that is. And the other unknown that I had was, I would always say, I just don't feel well. My whole body feels like the skeleton, the bones and joints in my whole body. I feel like I'm 100 years old. And it could be something as simple as dehydration or not the right calcium, too many toxins. All I know is that I've really got out of that rut. I'm making sure I have all my calcium during the day, all my water, all my iron, and I'm still not eating as well as I should. For me, protein is king or queen. I'm a queen of the world when I'm stocked up on protein. And like this, mashed potatoes and buttered carbs like this, the worst thing in the world for me. So we'll see. So when I went for my blood test this morning, she took out 5 big tubes and 4 tiny tubes. But the tiny tubes she didn't use. I said, "What are those tiny tubes for?" She said, "Well, they had to do something. They have to spin it in some kind of cylinder drum." I forgot what she said. It was a lot, and I appreciate her And those are the tests that are paid for by normal insurance. And like I said, I don't want to pay. I guess it'll be approximately $250 times 3 tests. I don't want to pay that, but I don't want to not feel well anymore. So for me, it's worth it. So the way you get these in-depth detailed tests, there's 2 ways. If you have a functional medicine doctor in your area, the majority of their visits are, paid for by normal insurance. But like I said, unlike these specialized tests, may not be. So if you can find a functional medicine doctor, which is a everyday doctor, but they have functional medicine as their other specialty, where they treat illness and disease through better nutrition, food nutrition, supplements, vitamins, minerals, instead of prescribing you a prescription pill. So that's a functional medicine doctor. And though I haven't been to one, and I don't even know if I know how to properly pronounce the name, a naturopath doctor. Maybe I should write these down. And functional medicine, naturopath doctor. They'd be a good start for some of these added extra tests beyond what an everyday general practitioner might do. And or again, it's not as easy, but you can search online for these specialized labs and these specialized clinics that will give you, more than likely, maybe the same test my doctor gave me. A specialized vitamin and mineral panel looking for deficiencies, and then another test, the toxins, highlighting all of the toxins in your body, and then the stool sample is beyond just the few little things they look for in the doctor's office. But who knows what I brought back from the hospital, having 3 surgeries, right, in less than a year. And the other thing I have twice a day is my collagen peptides and my J-Rob protein powder. And I'm pretty sure the label says once a day. But somehow I've convinced myself I need it twice a day. So in the morning, I'll have a J-Rob. A few hours later, I have my collagen drink. And I just mix both of those powders in milk. And then later in the afternoon, I'll have another J-Rob. And at bedtime, I'll have a collagen and milk. Well, one thing I started doing, I wonder if this could be the main sole reason why I feel a little bit better, is I'm not eating a ton of food before bed. I got in a bad habit think it's like a twofold. Not sleeping well, but I don't think I'm sleeping well because I was so deficient in my nutrients. So to help me sleep better, I'd eat something right before bed, which is the worst. But now, at bedtime, I'm either having a glass of milk or a glass of my collagen peptide powder with milk. But I'm feeling better when I wake up. That could be it as well. And you know, I think it's 30-30-40. You know how they used to chop up the carbs, fats, and protein to your day? Like a 30% of your calories. I'm going to have to look that up. I think it was 30-30-40. And, but for me, I don't know if you ever eat right for your blood type. And they outlined the diets for the A, B, and O blood types, and mine was strictly protein. In fact, they would call a food poison if you were, for me, example for me, any kind of bread outside of an Ezekiel bread was poison. And they may have had a potato in there, I'm not sure, but it was protein and veggies. And I remember those years. I was all that. I felt good mentally, physically. I just felt that my brain and my body worked at its best. Like, you know, the expression lean, mean, running machine. I felt that way. Like my mind and my body was so in tuned. And I experienced that best when I was on the Eat Right for Your Blood type. And then my friend at the time, who saw how wonderful I was doing, I said, well, I'm doing well. She says, you can't eat protein. You know, they say too much protein is bad for your liver. I mean, your kidneys. So, well, this Eat Right for Your Blood type says I'm supposed to eat protein, and I feel good, and I'm losing weight bigger than beans. She decides she's gonna do it. I said, well, you don't know your blood type. She says, well, and she ended up doing it, and she ended up in the hospital. They did like a urine test, and she couldn't. I guess she couldn't eliminate all the protein. I don't know how they figure that out in a urine, or maybe they did both. My one daughter, we laugh about it now. One daughter was off to college, but the other daughter was still home, and I was realizing she's not eating much protein. That's why she doesn't feel well. But you know, her blood type didn't demand protein. She needed healthy carbs. I'll never forget in the morning saying, you know, you need to feel better. You're going to start each day with protein. And she says, remember those mornings you were making me eat protein? And you'd give me beans and eggs, and I think I even tried to give her a turkey, like lean pieces of turkey and chicken. And she said, Mom, what were you thinking? I said, I know. I just thought for sure you'd feel better. But again, she was another one on a different blood type. That protein wasn't her best. So I'll put some links in the show more tab below. Click on the show more tab. I'll put Eat Right for Your Blood Type and a couple other links in there. And the other thing is alkaline. And I've mentioned this before, but the title of this book made such an impression on me. It really scared me into paying attention, and my mom told me about it, I think in the 1990s or the early 2000s, and the name of the book was Alkalize or Die. And I've got it on Kindle, on the book reader from Amazon. I had the original book. I can't find it now though, but how they do talk about illness and disease, how it gets a foothold simply because for too many decades of our life, we're too acidic. Our whole body is too acidic, whether it's our tummy, our blood, or I don't know what exactly parts of our body they're talking about is continually acidic, but when we're acidic our whole life, that's not good. And it's easy for disease to start up versus alkaline gives you the energy or whatever it is you need to keep from being acidic, so that you don't go for years and years and years in that same way. And I got serious about it again and found out that if I take my potassium, I have a potassium bicarbonate capsule. I think it's time for Big Red. Are we ready for Big Red? Because my cousin, somebody was telling me that yes, they take a tablespoon or a spoonful of baking soda every day, so their tummy is too acidic or something. And I thought that doesn't sound right when I realized that this potassium capsule I was taking it was called potassium bicarbonate, like potassium. I mean, like baking soda is has the same word in it. So if I take my potassium capsules throughout the day, I'm able to keep my body at a good alkaline level. So, and you can find the strips, the alkaline test strips. Whole Foods or Sprouts sells them, or Amazon. And throughout the day, you can test your alkaline level. And I think that has helped me when I wasn't feeling well. I wasn't taking my supplements. Didn't feel good. And the other thing, I really think this is like a little miracle find. There really is something to oxygenating our blood, getting as much oxygen into our blood as possible, so our blood can be at its best to get to all the extremities of our body as it needs to. And of course, as we get older, it gets harder. I know I've seen miracles with my husband Me, maybe not so much because, like I said, when I don't feel good, I don't feel good, and I don't stick to my routine. But I do make sure my husband does. But simply by him adding the L-arginine citrulline tablet and the B12, which help to oxygenate your blood, nitric oxide into your system, and I also heard that beetroot powder, you can research that, has a high level of nitric oxide, can also help. So now that I've been strictly back on my regimen, and I'm now taking 2 or 3 of those citrulline tablets, 2 or 3 of the B12, and whatever little bit of nitric oxide it's added to my blood, I think it's helped. Because I'm feeling a little bit more physical energy. I seem to be feeling not as down mentally. That's what my week has consisted of. Finding out from the doctor what tests to take to roll out all these things, because I'm just not feeling well. And thank goodness, though, I'm able to do our medical appointments over the telephone or FaceTime, but they know us so well, we don't have to FaceTime. We just do it over the telephone. I'm so grateful for that. And so that started on Monday. She figured out by Wednesday, because I had some other tests from another doctor, she wanted to see what tests he had taken, because she didn't want to duplicate the testing, because insurances are real finicky. If you have one test and then you have another doctor take the exact same test within 3 months or something, insurance won't cover it. So by Wednesday, she got emailed me all the prescriptions for, I'm going to go do a bone density, hormones, all that stuff. And then I'll probably, maybe later today, call and get rolling on the vitamin and mineral test and the toxic test. And whatever your blood lab is, Fridays seem to be a good day for an appointment. People aren't doing lab work on Fridays as much. During the week it's so busy. And what else? Invest in a massage roller. Amazon has these little massage rollers. Let's see if they still sell them. And sugar has our worst